Hey, welcome in. So today we are doing a salon and spa in The Sims 4. Now, I know you really can't have a salon in The Sims, but I used to be a hairdresser, in a former life. It's been a long time, but I still do hair all the time. I do my own hair. I do family's hair. It's always a part of me and a part of who I am. And I really grew up doing it. I did it from like 19 until I had my first son. And like I said, I still do hair all the time. This child right here, he's the reason that I stopped doing hair. He's the reason that I stopped working in a salon. I worked in a salon until almost 9 months pregnant, like 2 weeks from my due date. Loved it and loved the salon life. Loved the people, the friendships. It's a really great vibe. However, I was a stay-at-home mom after having him, and I stayed at home for quite some time until I had my second son, and then I went back to work, and I have been working ever since. So I do have a job that I work, and then, this is just something fun that I get to do, and I've always loved The Sims. Ever since it came out in, 99? Sims 1 on the computer. Loved it. But anyways, I digress. This is Skye Salon and Spa. So we are in San Myshuno, and we are downtown in the skyscrapers where Skye Fitness is usually located. I thought this would be a really fun spot for a little salon and spa. It's like in the hub of things, who needs a gym? Like, bring on the salon, the spa. I didn't actually put any type of fitness center in here because obviously you can, and it's a part of spa day. They have some fitness equipment, but I didn't use it. I could have gone bigger with this salon and spa and really utilized every inch of space still, but I didn't. I kind of kept it a little smaller. It's still big inside, but small still. I knew that I wanted the outside of this build to feel very modern and almost have like this downtown vibes, somewhere that, you're going to plan a whole day here to come and get your services done. The main salon that I worked at had a very more like classic, older vibe to it, and it was really fun and pretty, but I always love the vibes of like a downtown salon. You just go and get pampered, and you're gonna spend a small fortune, but it's gonna be worth it, and you're gonna literally walk out of here on a cloud. I played around with platforms, and I created this little fencing with the snowy escape. Oh my gosh. Reinforce and retreat bars. And I think they're really cool. And then I put a glass fence behind them to create texture on texture. I really wanted this place to pop out and have a very unique look to it, which is why I also used those eco lifestyle planks in vertical and horizontal, mostly vertical. I do use horizontal a little bit to kind of break up the texture. What I'm doing right now is I've obviously chosen my lot type as a spa, and I'm just going in and what does it say I need? Okay, well, let me put those things down so I know. And then obviously while I'm going through, I'm deciding, okay, it needs some more stuff. So we're going to have a front desk. I use the Get Famous little salon chairs. This is it. I have been dreaming about doing this build for so long, and it's taken me a little longer to get it done. Life, you never know what life is going to like throw at you. And my life lately has been no exception. It's been super crazy around my house. I'm being pulled in like 1,000 different directions. And so while this has taken a little bit longer to get out and get done and get to you, no regrets, because I think this turned out really gorgeous. It's definitely a little like Sims build bucket list checkmark moment. And I'm not sure that I would do anything different in the long run. Okay, maybe I'd make it bigger, but even then, that's such a small thing to do because this build really has everything you need to have a really fun spa day. I will say at this point, it is not play tested. Before I put it on the gallery, I will play test it. So I can't say that nothing will change from what you see today, but when it's on the gallery, it will be play tested and ready for your Sims to come in here and have a fabulous day at the spa. Layout. Now layout, this is not it. Okay, you walk in, that all stays the same, but this like over here, this side with the bathroom rooms and the sauna. It's not anything like it's gonna look. It moves quite a bit, but in the end, I think that the layout that I finally get is just perfect and works really well and makes sense in my head. This is the fun part when I got in here and I was able to kind of design what my little salon space looked like. I end up using vintage glamour mirrors. They're super tall. They're the medium wall height because I do this on a medium wall height. I take spa day kitchen cabinets and the small one that would go like above your stove or your fridge. I alt place them and make a little station for your hairstylist. I have to say though, one of my favorite parts, which I get to later, is getting to clutter those spaces and create like stations for each hairstylist. Now we've got our staircase in here. I like how it's like real front and center. You walk in, you see the reception desk, and then this big grand staircase. Upstairs, I decide to do your little massage room, and I do yoga outside. I mean, I think that's a fun like little moment that maybe your salon spa holds classes, and so I put the instructor's yoga mat down and then put some yoga mats in the vicinity so that way you could have a class up there or hold a class yourself. I had a lot of bathrooms in here and I decided I didn't need 4 stalls of toilets. So we shrink it down to 2 toilets, 2 sinks, and then 2 showers. You got a little locker in between. So upstairs, I've decided this is where your massage room's gonna be and your sauna. It feels very fitting that that's upstairs with yoga. It may be a little quieter upstairs. Sometimes being upstairs is a little warmer, which I think fits in with a sauna. Also fits in with massage. I liked this idea. I didn't realize at first that I was doing it backwards and put my rooms on the opposite side. So we just flip them over because I didn't like the way the staircase looked backwards when you walked in. I really wanted you to walk into the salon and see that staircase going upstairs and having that whole moment. So we're getting a little bit better idea of how it's going to look down here. Things are still going to move around. I have your little mani-pedi chairs. I didn't like having them kind of separate because what if you had a party of 3 or 4 friends and you all wanted to sit next to each other? So once again, like I said, layout changes so much. I make this little space for these Get Famous platforms that you can get dressed on. I don't keep them at all. I get rid of them. So maybe that would be a thing. If I made this place bigger, I would add that back in. You obviously don't need it, but I thought it'd be fun to be able to go in and potentially get dressed. You know what I mean? Like that you would have like an on-the-spot stylist who could maybe help you manage your wardrobe, find things for you. I don't know what that would look like. I don't have a stylist. The thought was nice, that like whole process of where my brain went with it. But I do get rid of those and you'll see it in a minute. Just kind of change it up. I had almost all the furniture pretty much placed except for a nice waiting area. So I used the sectionals from Tiny Living. Nope. From Dream Home Decorator. And create this sectional moment so that way maybe your partner, friend, whatever is getting their haircut, you can go sit on the couch and wait for them. You don't have to sit in the waiting area. You can be close to them. Or say that your best friend, partner, spouse, whatever is getting a pedicure and you can sit back there with them and not have to wait in the waiting area. And I think that's really nice. The salon that I worked at had in the shampoo room, which we obviously don't have, but in the shampoo room, we had this big sofa that people could sit on and just hang out. So that way they didn't have to wait up front. They could wait with their person that they came with. And that always makes it a better experience. You know, some people have like hair anxiety and things like that. Like they don't want to be left alone with a hairstylist, or maybe you were bringing your kid or your sister and you want to help with the consultation. You know, I definitely wanted to have a little sofa for that extra person that comes with you to be able to wait. So it's kind of tucked behind the staircase. It's very roomy, but I think it's a really sweet little moment. And I love the sectionals. They're so good. Put a little bamboo in them. I think they're so cute and definitely create a moment back there. All right, I am getting rid of those platform dressing areas, opening this space up a little bit, adding in the little mani-pedi chairs right here on a platform to give them a little bit of distinction. And I thought that was really fun moment. With this, I know that the werewolves like metal little spandrels and columns are a little dirty, but I really wanted this very like factory older building look to this. I felt like the columns and spandrels really added to that. Now, I decided that this little area would be your bar area, your kitchen, almost like maybe a break room for the people who work here. Anytime I've been to a really nice salon, whether that be a nail salon, a spa, or even just a hair salon, typically you'll be asked if you'd like something to drink. I wanted to create that moment for your Sims to be able to go in here and have a drink, you know, have a mixologist mix them up something special, or they could go grab something. I feel like a microwave and things like that. It's a whole moment. I really like the little break room area that I created. Now, I said I wanted this very like factory-esque old building feel when you walk in here. Very industrial, but like a posh, modern industrial feel, if any of that makes sense. So we add brick walls everywhere, knowing full well that I'm going to come in here and add a plaster wallpaper to break up all of the brick. And then in the bathroom, the mudroom, we add a pretty tile from Spa Day. Actually, I forgot. I do take the tile out of the little mudroom and do this wood paneling like I did upstairs. I think it adds a really like calming zen feel. Now, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with that little pedicure wall, you know, I've enclosed it, and then I decided this little Spa Day wall, I thought it was so pretty. I thought it added a little something extra. Popping back out here and go ahead figuring out what these windows are going to look like. I knew that if I was going to go ahead and start cluttering and adding some decor on the walls, that I needed to know what the windows situation was going to look like. Also, don't mind me and all my pipes and stuff like that. I decided to go ahead and space out the windows. Every other one is a window, minus the whole like bathroom hallway situation. And I really liked the way it looked. I did add a bunch of windows up top. It was too many windows. We get rid of some of them. And now all I'm doing is adding that texture back in where we're not going to have windows. We're going to have these little wall panels to create dimension and bring in that unique element that I wanted. Now I've created this cute little pergola upstairs using that low fence. I'm alt placing these low lying yellow flowers to create a very nice green effect up here and just add a little more dimension to this whole build. Now I had pulled out some like random pipes and things like that that you would expect on a building. I kind of just placed them around a little bit just for fun. Obviously you don't need them, but I think they add a little extra element to this build. Now I figured it was time to go ahead and get the furniture set out for what this kitchen break room area was going to look like. And I swapped sides and put the bar back over on that wall because honestly, I don't want your clientele to come up and just be like, oh, hey, there's a kitchen in there. But if they look over and see the bar, it just felt like a little more like, let's keep the break room kind of tucked away, hidden. But the bar you can see and be like, oh, hey, you got a full bar in there? Can I have a drink? Not that you would not have already been asked if you wanted a drink, because this is a high-end salon I'm creating. You know, you would have been asked, hey, do you want something to drink? Even if it's sparkling water. Now I say this and I've worked in a salon and I've had really great salon experiences, but I don't think I've ever been to a place quite like this one. I'm just adding in some plants here and there. I've got this really great little waiting area and it will change. I kind of have my sides a little different, like, what do I want this to look like up here? So it'll change a little bit, but that's okay. Also, this little area I thought was really cute. I used these little Saint Peeper whatever, shrunk them down a little bit and created a little greenery on this wall because I felt like it needed a little something, a little pop of color, a little coziness. And so I do that and add the little Spa Day sign behind it. Getting these little like dine out anti-slip mats because you need them when you're cutting hair or even like you've shampooed it, like it's slippery. You want some like grip mats so you don't slip and hurt yourself. Not speaking from any experience. I can't say that I ever had slipped, but it's because we had slip mats. All right. So like I said, this side is a little different from the other side. I was trying to catch my vibe. You know what I mean? Like, did I want this very like metal feeling, or did I want it a little more relaxed with the white on the other side with the plants? It took me a minute to get there, but so this is what the other side was looking like, and I finally figure it out. I go ahead and get rid of these tiny living pictures, and I'm not sure what happened to the video footage, but I use these really great black and gray scale pictures. They're super pretty. I can see the like swatch in my head. It's the big picture of the girl in the blue dress, and it's got these black and white swatches in there, and those are what I end up using in my waiting area, and I use 2 on each side and kind of shrink them down, and it turns into a really cool vibe. I'm just adding a few plants everywhere because that's always what makes a like modern factory industrial feel a little softer. That juxtaposition, whatever, from that hard metals and bricks versus soft and green and alive, you know? This was like the best part. Okay, I'm so excited. I got to clutter up these little counters that I turned into stylist stations. And I have to say, I really love the way they look. I tried to just pull a bunch of stuff that I thought would look really good on the stations, and from there create a almost like personality of someone who works at that station. So all the stations look different, and I really like that. Like on this first station, you're gonna have a coffee cup. I think I put a blow dryer. One of the stations has their own like little bin with all their products in it. Another one, it's gonna have like keys and a phone and a picture. They have plants, or they have magazines, and all their products are different. I didn't use anything twice except for the blow dryers, which I mean makes perfect sense in my opinion because we only have like that one blow dryer. We have the blow dryer like that comes with the Parenthood that has like the brush and stuff like that, and I used that once. But then for the actual hair dryers, I just changed the swatches and was able to use them twice. I love. And I used the pretty little modern luxe pictures of the women kind of showing off like hairstyles almost. And I love that because you go into some salons and you're going to see like almost reference pictures or advertisements of that salon and people's hair and what it looks like. And so I loved those little pictures. Don't always get to use them, just depending on what kind of like build you're doing. I say that and I want to say I used them a little bit ago, like in my Tudor home. Anyways, they're really good pictures, and I loved getting to use all 3 women. I didn't get to use the 4th swatch of the woman. The coloring was too off. I think she's in a gold frame, and these are all darker frames, so they kind of like flow well with each other, if you know what I mean. I'm creating this little seating area upstairs, so while you're waiting to get your massage, or you're waiting to use the sauna, or even just to go outside and do your yoga class, you have a little spot to come up here and sit. So we do use the sectionals again, but I don't create a sectional moment. I just use the armchairs, and I like it. It creates just a little moment up here so it's not so open, gives you a space to come and sit. Now outside, I knew that I wanted to keep everything very simple and clean, so I go ahead and create a little fountain around the building. Now it's not fully connected in the back because I have a dumpster back there, and I wanted your Sims to be able to get to it. Go ahead and add some stone for your walkway and put some stone in the fountain as well. And then I take the Island Living Hawaiian-like grass and just edge out by the building. And don't worry, I pull this up on a higher foundation so the clipping you see does not stay. And then at this point, I did realize that I wanted this to wrap around a little bit more, so I pulled the fountain back out a little bit. I had made it tiny, and then I was like, nah, it needs to be all around, all the way around. So we've pulled it up on a foundation now, and we're gonna go ahead and get a little staircase in here. I mean, these are like finishing touches right now, just making sure everything looks good. We are gonna go ahead and do some terrain paint, but this build is basically finished, and I think it's time we go ahead and jump into these screenshots. hope you like this build. I had a lot of fun creating Skye Salon and Spa in The Sims 4. It will be up on the gallery. I will play test it to make sure everything is working as it should. If you want this build for yourself, you can definitely have it. You can find me on the gallery. My EA ID is CatXThrash, just like the name here on YouTube. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely keep coming back for more. I hope you have a great night wherever you are. Bye, y'all.